Jai Radha Madhuri Jana Girivar Dhari Jai Radha Madhavu Kunjari Hari Gopi Jana Radha Girivar Dhari Yashodanandana Sajajana Yamuna Bandhanachaari Yashodanandana Gajajanarandana Yamuna Bandhanachaari Jaya Radha Madhuri Gopijana Radha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunda Vihari Gopijana Radha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Rama Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Radha Gopi Vallabha Radha Gopi Vallabha Jayo Jagannatha Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jagannatha Swami Ganapatayami Nayanapatayami Avatume Jagannatha Swami Nayanapatayami Nayanapatayami Avatume Nitai Gorango Nitai Gorango Nitai Gorango Gaurari Jaya Sakti Nandana, Jaya Sakti Nandana, Jaya Sakti Nandana Gaura Hari, Patita Pavana, Patita Pavana, Patita Pavana Gaura Hari, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Jai Guru Dev Guru Dev नित्य गौर हरि बोल, नित्य गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, नित्य गौर हरि बोल। श्री राधा गोपी वल्लभ जी जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय, श्री साई गौरांग भगवान की जय, श्री भक्ति गांता स्वामी श्री रसोपाद की। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा तदादिस्वपदान्ति वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवां श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखाम्बिकां हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे। ओम नमो वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रये। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यान्वेषे नमः। नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गौब्राह्मणाहिताय च जगदिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे। हुकुम करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं कृपः वंदे श्री गुरुदिनकारिणं श्री परमानंदमाधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम्। ओम अपवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थं गतोऽपि वा यत्स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षं साभ्याभ्यन्तरं श्री विष्णु श्रीविष्णु। चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहाद्वावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयकैरिव चन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वत्मस्थापनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनं। नामकारि बहुलानि च सर्वशक्ति तत्रातिपानियमिता स्मरणेन काल एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशमिह जानननुरागः। गृणादपि सुनिचेन तरुरपि सहिष्णुना अमाननीयमानतेन कीर्तनीय सदा हरि। न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितं वा जगदीशकामये जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतः भक्तिरहैतकी त्वयि। अयि नन्दतनुज किङ्करपतितमां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ त्वया तव पादपङ्कजधूलिसदर्शं विचिन्तया नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदरुधाय गिरा पुलकिर्निशितं वपुगदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति। व्यायचन्द्रशेन चक्षुषा प्रवर्षायितम् ज्ञायितुं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दं विरहे नमः अश्लिष्य वा पादरतं पिनस्मादर्शनान् मर्मः तां करोतु वा यथा तथा विजहतो लम्पतो मात् प्रणनाथस्त्वेव न पर हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे Give me 1 minute, I'll be back. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Santosh Aji.
Dandavat.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
Not audible, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, you are on mute.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you are on mute.
Prabhu, వినిపిస్తలే ప్రభు మీరు చెప్పేది.
Is it audible now?
Yes प्रभु जी।
Yes.
No, it's Prabhu.
Okay. Hare Krishna. So just conveying Dandavat Pranam to everyone who has joined. Padma Mataji, Malinga Prabhu, India Mataji, Usha Mataji, Praveen Prabhu, Puja Mataji, Dasrath Prabhu, Ram Reddy Prabhu, and Mataji. Madhusudan Prabhu, thank you for joining. Satyadev Prabhu, Murlidhar Govind Prabhu, thank you for joining. So nice to meet all of you on Ekadashi morning. Santosh Aji Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Yeah, Prasad Prabhu, Supara Prabhu, Vanilla Mataji, thank you. Pranam, Ram Reddy Prabhu, Ruchika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining. Today is Shayana Ekadashi, one of the most important Ekadashis among the Ekadashi. Ekadashi is coming from Lord Krishna. Right? Lord Krishna is the one who produced Ekadashi. You can say, Aham Bija Pradapita. So one of his Bija is Ekadashi, Mother Ekadashi, Goddess Ekadashi, or a day Ekadashi, right? Which transforms into a day. And the Shayana Ekadashi is very prominent because it's explained that the Supreme Personality of Godhead goes to Yoga Nidra on this day, right? Until the next Ekadashi, until the Ekadashi that comes after the end of Kartika. I think sometime in November it's going to come, right? So for these 4 months, most of the auspicious activities are not done, but everything is auspicious still. You know, you have this time we have Adhikamas also, right? That's coming. The Shayana Ekadashi goes to a story of a great king. I think its name is Mandata, yes, King Mandata. So this king, he was ruling the whole planet, and you know, he was a very good king, taking care of citizens, following Shastra, everything. But it so happened that for 3 years continuously, they did not have any rains, and there was no vegetation, there was no cultivation, and citizens were getting very concerned what's going to happen to them. They all approached the king and they told, please help us. You know, we don't know. We don't know how you can, but please help us because we are not getting rains. And the king immediately told that, yeah, and this kind of event occurs when the king is very sinful. Normally, as per Shastra, the king is very sinful. You don't get good rains, and Devatas are not happy basically. So then the king says that I will go and find out um, the root cause for this, and I'll also find a solution for that. Don't worry. So he takes his advisors and along with the small army, he gets into forest. He goes into forest, and there he meets Rishi Angira. And he asks Rishi Angira that this is my situation. Please tell me what to do. If I'm sinful, I'm ready to do whatever is needed. But my citizens are suffering because of me. Or whatever is the reason, please let me know. Then Rishi Angira actually explains that looks like there is one undeserving person who is doing tapasya in your kingdom. Somebody is not supposed to do tapasya. He is doing tapasya. And that is, the effect of that is on the whole kingdom. So then he says, what should I do? What am I supposed to do then? He says, ask all your citizens to follow this one Ekadashi that comes as Shayana Ekadashi. If you follow this one Ekadashi by fasting on this day, by chanting the holy names on this day, all whatever known and unknown sins you or they all might have committed will be removed. And most importantly, everybody will perfect their life by getting Krishna Bhakti, the purpose of life. And then all auspiciousness will come back on the planet. So the king did that, and the citizens also followed the king, Yad Yad Acharati Sheshtas. And the whole kingdom was filled with natural resources, and the devatas were very happy. So every Ekadashi has a story. Especially this Ekadashi is very famous, especially in Pandharpur today, where thousands and millions of devotees walking for days and months would have reached Pandharpur, take darshan of Vithalnath Bhagwan ki jai. So it's a very, very auspicious day. But as we say, it is a very auspicious day. It also gives me a lot of pain to also remember, unfortunately, that today is Bakrid, and the day when so many cows are going to be slaughtered just for the sake of fanatic response against a religion. Fanatic response against a religion. It's all it is. It's got nothing to do with Islam. It's got nothing to do with Quran. It's got nothing to do with food. It has got nothing to do with taste. It has only got to do with how can one disturb another human being who follows some faith. That's all. Right? So just imagine, I was thinking today morning, if one, as per the Puranas, if one undeserving person is performing tapasya and it leads to so much chaos in one kingdom, what kind of chaos will come onto this planet when so many cows and bulls are going to be butchered today in the name of fanatic religion? Actually, all other days also Hindus are also butchering. Why to speak of cows, chickens, goats, fishes, right? So many birds. They're also killing. So it's not about a religion. But today, especially when the cows are brought into picture, cows are not animals. Cows cannot be put in the category of animals. Doesn't mean other animals don't matter. They do. But cows come in a different category. They are selfless mothers. And so much sin is going to be put onto the planet today in the name of religion that Mother Earth is going to react. She's going to react horribly, which is going to be, which is going to affect all of us. All of us. Yeah, we are devotees. We are not killing cows or we are not torturing cows, but we are allowing this to happen. We are allowing this to happen, right? Unfortunately, and it will come. It will come in the form of diseases, feminine, natural disasters, adhyatmika, adibhautika. Adi Daivika. In all the ways, the reaction is going to come. No matter we are rich or poor, or we have many assets, doesn't matter. When karma affects, when karma hits you, it is the most painful blow. It shakes us up. And these people who are killing the cows, they're also human beings. They're also children of Krishna, misdirected and uninformed and um, sinful. They're going to suffer. They don't realize that they're going to suffer. Their families are going to suffer. Their families are going to suffer, right? We don't want anyone to suffer. We believe in Vasudeva Kutumbakam. We want to pass on this message, but in this very auspicious, see how bad is Kali Yuga, that the most auspicious day, Shayana Ekadashi, is the day when cows will be killed. Right? I mean, this is not a coincidence, Prabhu, it's not a coincidence. It's because Krishna wants the sin to be multiplied. Just like on Ekadashi day, the punya is multiplied. To do 1 round is equal to 100 rounds, 1000 rounds, as Acharyas say on Ekadashi day. The same way, your sin also, whatever sin you commit on Ekadashi day, multiplies equally. And the greatest sin, as per Manu Samhita, is to kick a cow. Can you believe it? Manu Samhita says, among all the sins a human being can perform, the greatest sin is to kick a cow, not kill a cow. If a cow is sitting, you won't kick it. That is the greatest sin. After that is Brahmana Hatya. And it's not the topic today, but I would suggest don't go out of your houses today. Anywhere. Because you see a cow standing beside the road, tied, waiting to be sold. It is very disturbing. I feel very helpless. Very helpless. And to maintain cows is such a big problem today. I'm maintaining, struggling. When today morning I had a pretty nasty conversation with the workers there, who are behaving in all ways, in all respects to how not to allow cow protection. Everybody wants to escape work. They don't want to work. They only want salaries. If one person is not coming, 10 persons will not come because he has not come. Why should I work? And eventually, who is going to feed the cows? Nobody is there today, sir. Sir, nobody is there. Right? Then you pick up the phone, start shouting at people. What is wrong with you all? And then they say, oh, he didn't come. Why should I come? He is behaving like that. Why should I behave? Right? So all this is Kali. Kali appears in the form of irresponsible people who have no gratitude. One other way of defining Kali Yuga is a yuga with no gratitude. A yuga with people who have no gratitude of what they are receiving. No gratitude. Because if we have gratitude, our behavior will not be like this. What we have received. And too attached. When you're not having gratitude, then you become too attached to what you have. The Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, starts with offenses being committed on a Vaishnava. Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambho, on Lord Shiva, the offenses that are committed, and how those offenses are going to create a reaction. And who are the personalities who are committing those offenses? Second chapter was already discussed, I believe, right? Where there was the offense being committed by Daksha Prajapati. And Daksha is son of Brahma, not ordinary person. I don't think you can compare anybody today on this planet to Daksha. Knowledgeable, extremely knowledgeable, beautiful, very attractive person. powerful. All opulences given by Brahma to his son so he can produce progeny and populate the world. Daksha Prajapati. One of his sweet daughters, Sati. He has many daughters, thousands, millions, but one of the sweetest. Maybe, and it is also explained she was the most dear Sati. On his advice, on Brahma's advice, he married her to Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva is not Jiva Tattva. Lord Shiva is Shambhu Tattva. He is Supreme Personality of Godhead, dealing with the mode of ignorance, not in mode of, he is dealing with the mode of ignorance. He is an expansion, doesn't have birth, death, nothing. He is above all this. Though he is appearing from Brahma, but he is not equal or lower than Brahma, uncomparable to Brahma. So he is insulted. And for what he is insulted? Because Daksha Prajapati felt that he was not respected enough. When everybody else got up to address him, Lord Shiva did not get up. He was immersed in his meditation, matted hair, all vibhuti on his body, not appearing to be clean, sitting in an arena where a huge yajna is happening, and Daksha Prajapati is coming there. All devatas are getting up, looking at the radiance. Bhagavatam explains here, radiant, like a sun, right? Lord Brahma got up. No, sorry. There are only two personalities who did not get up, Brahma and Shiva. Everybody else got up. Why do people get up? So that they pass on the message that we respect you, and if you don't have a chair, we don't have a chair. Right? So they want to make sure that Daksha Prajapati is seated, then they can sit. That's called respect. Today's day and time, when a father enters the room, children don't get up. No respect for elders also, right? No respect. There is no chair, no chair. Father will come, talk and go. Mother will come, talk and go. No respect. As the days are going by, what Daksha experienced, other way around, looking at the other way around, respect aspect. It's only deteriorating day by day. No gratitude for what people receive. So all the devatas got up, but Lord Shiva did not get up. But why did Lord Shiva not get up? Because Lord Shiva offered his pranam to the Vasudeva inside Daksha's body. Lord Shiva is a spiritual person, and he is offering his pranam to Vasudeva, to Vishnu, inside Daksha's body. He is not offering pranam to the body. Actually, Prabhupada explains in the purports of this chapter that we're going to read that Vaishnavas offer respect to Vishnu when they see another Vaishnava. First, not the body of a Vaishnava. Body of a Vaishnava or any body for that matter, especially body of Vaishnava, is a temple carrying Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. Right? He's in our heart. So as soon as we see a Vaishnava, immediately we pay obeisances. Because first we pray pranam to that Supreme Lord who is within that, who is sitting in that body. And then we thank the great Vaishnava who is going to give me his association, with whose help I can continue in my spiritual life and follow the instructions of Guru and Gauranga, God. So the act that Lord Shiva did to not get up is not an offense, because he actually offered pranam in his mind. He was already meditating on Supreme Lord, and he offered pranam even to Daksha. to the Lord within Daksha. But Daksha was so puffed up by his bodily platform, though he has the knowledge that Supreme Lord is within him, and he's worshipping the Supreme Lord. The whole yajnas that Daksha performed to satisfy Vishnu.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhu, one small doubt.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, here Daksha Prajapati is the greatest person, or the Lord Shiva is great person, Prabhu?
Daksha Prajapati is the son of Brahma, Jiva Tattva. He is Jiva Tattva.
Yeah.
And he is given a great responsibility and powers by Brahma.
Okay.
But Lord Shiva is a Ansha of the Supreme Lord himself. He is Supreme Lord himself, right? Who is coming to deal with the mode of ignorance. There is no comparison. Lord Shiva is very, very elevated. But at the same time, because he has been given his daughter from Daksha, he should honor that. That's the relationship courtesy at a bodily platform level. So that is the expectation of Daksha. But he forgets that who is Lord Shiva. The problem is Daksha forgets who is Lord Shiva.
Okay. Okay.
Lord Shiva is not an ordinary person who values any relationship relating to this body. Like when we discuss this chapter, next chapter now, third chapter, the conversation between Mother Sati and Lord Shiva actually explains that unintelligent people, they are more they're more focused on the bodily relationship. But the real focus should be on the spiritual relationship, which includes respecting the Lord. For example, a father and a son, when a father enters the room, the son should pay obeisances to the father. Not only thinking that he is my father, also knowing that my father is representing God and my father is carrying God in his heart. So it's always in relation to God only. Any respect which is not in relation to God is done only in mode of ignorance. Right? Any respect which is done not keeping God in relation. Mode of ignorance. It's also respect only, but it's mode of ignorance. I'm just respecting the body. A body which is made of 5 elements and nothing more than that. But when Lord Vishnu is there in that, then we respect Lord Vishnu. That's what Lord Shiva did. He was respecting Lord Vishnu because he is the purest devotee of Lord Krishna. He paid his obeisances by sitting there, closing his eyes. But he did not find it important to pay respect to Daksha on a bodily platform. He did not find it important. And Daksha could not accept that. He could not accept that. And he abused, if I have to use the word abused, or he spoke very harsh words against Lord Shiva in the second chapter. Actually, it's very, displeasing to even read them. And Sukadeva Goswami is explaining, actually, conversation between Maitreya and Vidura. Vidura is the one who asks, how come Sati, who was such a dear daughter of Daksha, committed a suicide? And why did even Daksha do such kind of insult to Lord Shiva? And for that Maitreya Muni explains that what exactly happened. Why was he envious? Why was Daksha envious of Lord Shiva? And actually, if you read this chapter, Lord Shiva actually gives an indication that because Daksha was not recognizing who is Lord Shiva, he was not having a proper understanding of who is Lord Shiva, he was doing this. He was comparing himself to Lord Shiva and was not ready to accept that why is Lord Shiva being given so much respect when I am the most important son of Brahma. He was considering Lord Shiva also as just like another son of Brahma because he came from Brahma. It's okay. But he is not ordinary soul like on a Jiva Tattva. He is not a Jiva Tattva. Shambhu Tattva, which is very close to Vishnu Tattva. Right? So that is the mistake he did. That he was envious of Lord Shiva before itself. from beginning itself was envious of Lord Shiva because of power. It is explained, actually, one of the reasons for this to occur is also Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma, knowing the nature of Daksha, should not have given that kind of power to him, that kind of opulence to him. Because power and opulence creates more problems. Especially if somebody is natured in a way who is very puffed up, he should not be given more power. It will make him more puffed up and he'll commit more offense. And Prabhupada in his purpose explains that Daksha could not understand that he has been given power by Brahma, but he felt he is deserving to get that power. So that's called pride. Pride means you feel that you deserve it. And because he had so much pride, he could not accept the respect being given to anybody else, including Lord Shiva. Right? So that is the reason when he insulted Lord Shiva, he went ahead and told horrible things about Lord Shiva. And he went ahead and cursed also. Cursed Lord Shiva that whenever in future any yajna will happen, the yajna ahuti, the offerings that will go into the yajna, all devatas will receive except you. Now, actually, Lord Shiva cannot be put in a category of devata also. He is above devata. Right? But he considered him. He is playing a role of a devata, but he is not just devata. But Daksha made that mistake of recognizing him as a devata, and he just a normal devata, and he, out of his envy, because his father Brahma is giving a lot of importance to Lord Shiva, he could not take that. He could not take that respect being given to Lord Shiva, and he insulted him. Accumulated anger and envy coming in this way. And Lord Shiva just did not get up. He didn't do any big offense. Just did not get up. And rightfully, he doesn't need to get up because he is very elevated. But on a bodily platform, he is his son-in-law. Just seeing that he continuously blasphemed, and to make matters more worse, Nandi was sitting, the Lord Shiva. Nandi got very, very angry looking at Daksha's curses, and even Nandi, started cursing back all the Brahmanas and Rishis and Daksha in that assembly, saying, whoever are accepting this kind of dishonor of Lord Shiva will never understand Vedas, will live on a bodily platform, will become atheists, like that, and many more curses. Actually, the second chapter is filled with curses on each other. And then there is one more Rishi, what's his name? He also started cursing back. And why? Huh?
Brigu Rishi.
Brigu Rishi? Yeah, Brigu Rishi, yes. Brigu Rishi started cursing back. And then after Brigu Rishi was cursing and was going back and forth, at one point, Lord Shiva just heard all this, just got up and walked away. Because this was too much going on for no reason. Daksha also walked away. But people knew that, everyone knew, the whole universe knew that things are not going well between Daksha and Lord Shiva. And Daksha, see, when you are envious, basically hate a person, right? Hatred, anger, hatred, and envy. So you put it into action. You put the whole thing into action. Your anger you put into action, right? So Daksha felt, I want to insult. I want to find another opportunity to insult Shiva, Lord Shiva. So he conducted another yajna. He planned another yajna, huge yajna. And this time, he did not invite Lord Shiva. That is a big insult. you're calling, when you're performing Yajna Purusha, Lord Vishnu, you're performing for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu doesn't accept anything if his devotees are not served. Prabhupada explains in the purpose that if devotees are not served, how can Lord Narayan accept anything? It's not that Daksha Prajapati did not know this. He knew that. But his envy on Lord Shiva was so much that he was not able to see the divinity and the role of Lord Shiva. So he wantedly planned this yajna in such a way that he gets another opportunity to express his envy, express his and his anger, wanted to dishonor. The purpose of the yajna was not to please Lord Vishnu, but was to dishonor a Vaishnava like Lord Shiva. And this chapter that we're going to read now is all about his planning for the yajna and how Mother Sati was a daughter of Daksha Prajapati, how she was allured to actually go and meet her father out of separation, knowing that there are issues between Lord Shiva and her father, but still going by the nature of a mother and in a woman's body, attached to her father, attached to the land where she was born. She requested Lord Shiva, I think you should go. And then Lord Shiva's explanation in the last verses that no, it's not going to be good for you. Lord Shiva didn't say that I will be insulted. No, nothing can insult Lord Shiva. The Prajna is above all this, above the bodily platform. But since he's dealing with the mode of ignorance, he shows those. Sometimes he shows those behavior, or not behavior, but he shows those glimpses of him getting angry. But Lord Shiva, how can he get angry? Vaishnava never gets angry. He can use anger. But he says, I'm not happy with your father. One can ask, how can Lord Shiva be angry if he's a Vaishnava? He uses anger. And he deals with people who are in the deepest mode of ignorance, basically very angry, ghosts, such kind of people, right? So the pretext I've given of why we are in this chapter. This chapter is about the whole insult to Lord Shiva has already got over, and now it is about Daksha Prajapati creating that yajna, not inviting Lord Shiva, and his whole plan to insult Lord Shiva, and how Mother Parvati reacts to that, Mother Sati reacts to that, and how Lord Shiva tries to explain to her. Right? So remember one thing, that as we get into, as I share the screen and I get into the Bhagavatam, don't try to judge Lord Shiva, or for that matter Mother Sati, with her words here, because they are only trying to teach us a lesson which we are all vulnerable to perform. In this material world, they are teaching us a lesson not to perform, not to do certain things. Not that Mother Sati is not intelligent, not that she in a woman body is affected by some things. No, it's not like that. Prabhupada explains. But at the same time, Prabhupada explains that through them we should understand our propensities. And we should make sure that we don't fall for it. We don't fall for it, and we learn some lessons out of this. Let's not even judge Daksha Prajapati. Right? Who is qualified to be Daksha Prajapati here? No, nobody is. He was a very knowledgeable person, very powerful person, and he eventually became a devotee also. Daksha Prajapati, he got the head of a goat by the curse of Nandi. And finally, when you seek forgiveness from Lord Narayan, Lord Krishna made him say the shlokas from a goat's head also. In a goat body also, he could come out with so beautiful prayers because of the mercy of Lord Krishna. So this chapter is not to judge anyone, but lessons for us, what we can learn and how to treat Vaishnavas, how dangerous it is when we don't treat them properly. And how even great personalities like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Daksha Prajapati, so many devatas can get affected in this material world, which is controlled by the three modes of material. Right?
Prabhuji, one doubt, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Daksha Prajapati has given the curse to Lord Shiva, right, Prabhu? Like saying, like, whoever worship you or praise you, they are not understanding the Vedas. So, is that curse still exists, Prabhu, or somewhere like, how can we understand that one? So, is still exist, or like is somewhere like it eradicated?
Well,
Or,
some curses do exist. You can clearly see that. You can ask how can it work? Daksha Prajapati is not an ordinary person either, right? He cursed that no offerings from a yajna will be Lord Shiva.
yeah.
Right? And that we can see even in yajnas today. We don't offer Lord Shiva. All are the devatas, mantras, and Lord Shiva is not offered through many yajnas. I don't know. Maybe there might be other yajnas where he is offered, but in general, he is not. And so the curse prevails. And that's why Lord Shiva gets up and goes, because too many curses are going on. Nandi also cursed the Brahmanas that you will become atheists. All the Brahmanas who are sitting here and hearing my Lord Shiva being insulted, you all will become beggars with no interest in Vedas. You will beg for food from door to door. You will forget the purpose of life. Oh Brahmanas, he curses like that. Right? So all these curses are I can see right now. I can see Brahmanas right now. Right? Many curses are there. The whole Kali Yuga to manifest, for the Kali Yuga to manifest in its fullest way, curses are needed. And those curses, these are all needed for Kali Yuga to show its full colors. So they prevail. They do exist.
So, Prabhuji, can we understand like whoever worship or praise Lord Shiva, they can't understand the Vedas?
No. If you are worshipping for materialistic benefits, if you are worshipping materialistic benefits, trying to get your desires fulfilled, they will never understand Vedas.
Okay.
But if you are approaching Lord Shiva as a servant and trying to learn from Lord Shiva what is the goal of life, and allowing Lord Shiva to act on your life, not only fulfilling your desires, but allowing Lord Shiva to act in your life, definitely will understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay, so let's read some part of the chapter now. Yeah. We'll read one shloka, then after that, the translations and some purports. Purports I've read, I'll try to tell the important things there. 4.3.1. Maitre Uvacha Sada Vidvistor Evam Kalo Vai Driyamanayo Jamatu Swasurasyapi Sumahan Ati Chakrame. Maitra Uvacha Sada Vidvisatorevam Kalo Vai Driyamanayo Jamatu Vasurasyapi Sumahan Ati chakrame. Maitreya Vacha, Maitreya said, Sada, constantly, Vidvisato, the tension, Evam, in this matter, Kala, time, why, certainly, Dri, Driyamanayo, continue to bear, Jamatu, of the son-in-law, Swasurasya, of the father-in-law, Api, even, Sumahan, a very great. Ati Chakrame, past. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Maitreya continued, in this manner, the tension between the father-in-law and son-in-law, Daksha and Lord Shiva, continued for a considerably long period. Right? So here Prabhupada explains briefly about the previous chapter, this purport saying what exactly happened, which we discussed sometime back, right? So I'll go on to the next verse. Yadhavikshito dakshastu brahmana parimeshtina prajapatinam sarvesham adhipatye samayo abhavat. When Lord Brahma appointed Daksha, the chief of all Prajapatis, the progenitors of population, Daksha became very much popular. Now here is what I was saying, right? This is the mistake that Lord Brahma did. You can say he did, that he should not have appointed him as the chief of progenitors when he knew that his propensities were not right, meaning he was getting proud. See, empowering somebody who is in wrong platform is very dangerous. But in Kali Yuga, we don't have a choice, isn't it? We cannot correct anybody. Can we correct anybody in Kali Yuga, Prabhuji and Mataji? Have you tried correcting anybody in Kali Yuga? Your son, your wife, your husband, another devotee, parents. Have you tried correcting anybody?
It's
No.
dangerous, Prabhu.
If you want to stay alive, if you want to be peaceful in life, take my advice, don't correct anybody. But when you don't correct people, the sin increases. That's exactly what is happening here. Instead of correcting Daksha Prajapati, Lord Brahma gave him more power. Maybe that was another way of correcting him. That gave him more power. The head of Prajapati, not like ordinary person. Head of Prajapati. The whole Brahma's role is to create. And he was going to perform that for him. Progenitor, right? What else can be more? Of course, before this, Brahma tried to have many Prajapatis and he was unsuccessful because of Narad Muni. He was making them all into brahmacharis. Finally found Daksha Prajapati who was going to do the job for him. So, knowing that he was envious on Lord Shiva, he should not have made him the head of Prajapati, but he did. Right? So, let's go next. Itzva sa vaje peyena Brahmisthan abhibhuya cha Brahaspati savam nama samarebhe kratuttamam. What does it say? Daksha began a sacrifice named Vajapeya, and he became excessively confident of his support by Lord Brahma. He then performed another great sacrifice named Brahaspati Seva. Actually, this yajna, in Prabhupada explains that before you perform Brahaspati Seva yajna, you are supposed to perform Vajapeya. There is a sequence to it. And again, the motive here is to somehow insult Lord Shiva more than satisfying the Yajna Purusha, Lord Vasudeva. He is performing the Yajna, but behind his mind, what is he thinking? I'm not going to invite Lord Shiva. That's a great insult. And Prabhupada explains the purport that how can you perform a yajna disrespecting devatas? And because, Prabhupada quotes a shloka below that Madbhakta Pujaya Vyadika, my worship, the worship of my devotees is better than worship to me. Prabhupada is quoting this. Right? In Shivapuran also it is stated the best mode of worship Lord Vishnu is to worship his devotees. And now here Yajna, Daksha Prajapati is trying to perform a Yajna whereby he is not inviting Lord Shiva. What do you think is his focus? Yajna or not inviting Lord Shiva? Right? Hare Krishna. Let's see what happens next. Tasmin Brahmarshaya Sarve Devarshi Pitra Devata Asankrita Swastyayanas Tat Patniyascha Sabhartrika. Now, while the sacrifice was being performed, many Brahmarishis, great sages, ancestral demigods, and other demigods, their wives, all very nicely decorated with ornaments, attended from different parts of the universe. Right? Now the invite is gone to everyone. Everyone is coming. All devatas, rishis, maharshis, with their wives. Many of them are coming. That's what is being told. And Prabhupada explains the purport that it's a very auspicious thing when husband and wives together go to such yajnas. It's very auspicious. And during that time, they decorate themselves very nicely. And it's a very good thing to see that when people come for religious activities, they nicely ornament themselves. Actually, we see even today in India, right? Even if there is a vratam in the house, women wear new sari or a nice sari or a lot of ornaments, gold, diamonds. And that is actually auspicious, considered auspicious way of performing yajna. Right? I'm not talking about spiritual platform, I'm talking about auspiciousness from materialistic standpoint. Yeah. So there is shloka 5 to 7. I'll read the translations directly. The chaste lady Sati, the daughter of Daksha, heard the heavenly engines flying in the sky, conversing about the great sacrifice being performed by her father. When she saw that from all directions the beautiful wives of heavenly denizens, their eyes very beautifully glittering, were near her residence and were going to the sacrifice, dressed in fine clothing and ornamented with earrings and necklaces with lockets. She approached her husband, the master of the Bhutas, in great anxiety and spoke as follows. See, 2-3 things here. Prabhupada explains that going with the description of this verse, it doesn't look like Lord Shiva was staying on the same planet also, or he had a different abode, because he is expressing that all the devatas are flying towards or crossing over where they stay. And you could also hear them discussing, oh, Daksha Prajapati is conducting this great yajna, let's all go, let's take advantage of it, like that, right? And Prabhupada goes further into the purport and says, actually, women, being in a woman body, if I am in a woman body, and I'll also behave like that. So don't think I'm talking anything against women or Matajis. Just the body, Like for example, Kaumaram Yavanam, you are in youth, your body demands certain things. Can't deny that. Because the body is like that. Body is filled with 3 modes of material nature and active, and it is demanding certain things. Right? The demands kind of decrease a little bit when you go become old. You have a Jara body. So in the same way, when you are in a woman body, you are attracted to ornaments. You are attracted to wearing beautiful things. Going to social circles, going to social functions is part of a woman's nature, right? Very attached. As we go further, Prabhupada explains further shlokas 438 translation. Sati said, "My dear Lord Shiva, your father-in-law is now executing great sacrifices, and all the demigods, having been invited by him, are going there. If you desire, we may also go." So respectfully, she's saying it actually. She's saying, see, I'm not saying I want to go. I'm saying you take me. Right? She's telling her husband, you take me. I want to go, but provided you go, you take me. And see, your father-in-law, trying to remind him that there is a great relationship between us and Daksha Prajapati. He is not only my father, he is your father-in-law. And why don't you go? Why don't we go? I desire to go. Right? At one level, she is trying request 4.3.9. I think that all my sisters must have gone to this great sacrificial ceremony with their husbands just to see their relatives. I also desire to decorate myself with the ornaments given to me by my father and go there with you to participate in that assembly. Now, there are 2-3 things to observe here. If you read the purports, Prabhupada is beautiful. And I'm just trying to tell some important points out of the purport. Prabhupada comments on why she's saying, I'm wearing the ornaments given by my father. Because she addresses Lord Shiva as somebody who is completely detached from material enjoyment. And as somebody who is not at all attracted to anything material, how can he buy ornaments for his wife? It's not possible. So, looks like Mother Sati never had any experience of going shopping with Lord Shiva to buy ornaments for her, and Lord Shiva also did not buy anything. All that she had was her father's. That's what Prabhupada says in the book. That whatever ornament she had was her father's. And she recognized Lord Shiva for being like that. It's not like she is insulting him. She is actually praising him. And also telling that, by the way, I'm going to decorate myself with the ornaments that my father gave. Can you please take me? Because my sisters have gone. My sisters have gone to attend the yajna. Please take me. And Prabhupada says that a woman, in a woman body, it's very natural and unstoppable for them to attend these ceremonies. Maybe in a male body, it's easy to reject or renounce oneself from social functions in a family. But in a woman body, it's very difficult because the body itself allures you to go. Again, I said, don't think, men are, I'm not with them. In the age of Kali, no man is perfect, right? But no woman is also perfect. So we're trying to deal with we're trying to understand the nature as explained in Bhagavatam, Amala Puran, spotless Puran. Spotless Puran, right? Amala Puran. Which means whatever it's speaking is not wrong. So when it is saying woman's nature is this, is that, of this there is no doubt. Even I see, sometimes after coming to Krishna consciousness, Prabhus are able to detach, mostly. See, Prabhus are able to detach themselves from their families also. Not much. If their family is not very favorable or not following KC, they don't go to many functions. But Matajis can't stop themselves. Even though they know that all these are bodily platform things, though my mother, my sister, actually that relation has no meaning in a spiritual sense. But whenever there is a ceremony or anything, they have to put on nice clothes and jewelry and go. Even wearing a tilak. Sometimes, I'm sorry to say, sometimes they even remove the tilak. Not right. Not right. Wherever we go, we should wear tilak. That's a respect to Supreme Lord. It's okay, not to judge anyone, but point is, as the verse explains, Mother Sati. Again, I said in the beginning, don't compare Mother Sati to this. She is only trying to do this to tell us our situation. Is affected looking at her relatives going to the ceremony, and she's saying, come on, let's go. Let's go. And the whole purport you can read. It's all about the nature of a woman. Prabhupada explains. Verse 10. My sisters, my mother's sisters, and their husbands and other affectionate relatives must be assembled there. So if I go, I shall be able to see them. And I shall be able to see the flapping flags and the performance of the sacrifice by the great sages. For these reasons, my dear husband, I am very much anxious to go. Now see the next one. It only gets better. Now she's trying to convince him. This is like now she's seeing that Lord Shiva is not getting convinced from her desire on a material platform. So she declares himself as not very intelligent, right? This verse she's telling in verse 11, this manifested cosmos, this whole material world, is a wonderful creation of the interaction of the three modes of material nature or the external energy of the Supreme Lord. I know, she's saying, I know that everything is external. This truth is fully known to me, known to you. Sorry, this truth is fully known to you. Yet, I am but a poor woman. And as you know, I'm not conversant with the truth. Therefore, I wish to see my birthplace once more. He's saying that actually birthplace, bodily platform, father, sisters, all these things are meaningless. And Lord Shiva, you are above all this. I know that you are above all this. But please consider me as a poor woman who's not very wealthy in Vedic knowledge. Please consider me as unintelligent. कुछ भी पूरा हो लेकिन लेके जाओ. Take me, because I want to go. Even if you consider that I'm unintelligent, and you say, what is the big deal about going there? You're born there, that birthplace. There is no meaning to birthplace. These are all recognitions with the body. Place of birth, we write in our passport, our forms. What is your place of birth? Can anyone tell? What is your place of birth? Do we have a place of birth? Spiritual platform, we don't have a place of birth. We are coming from Lord Krishna. Aham Bija Pradapita. Our place of birth is Krishna. And we have never taken birth in first place to make things even more complicated. Just imagine, you are filling the form and you write your date of birth, eternal. Your place of birth, I have not taken birth. The person reading the form will be shocked. What is some ghost filling the form or what? Has not taken birth. Is eternal. But the reality is that, right? The reality is you not taken birth, Baba. You don't have a birth. You don't have a place of birth either. Everything is related to the body. And Mother Sati is saying, I am related. I am saying that I am not intelligent, my dear husband. Please take me. Take me to the yajna. I want to meet my father. Because my sisters are going, my relatives are going. I'm not going to ask the Matajis. How many of you agree that it's very difficult to be detached from relatives? Right? Yeah. For a woman, it is very difficult. And there is a reason, right? We always discuss that God has created women like that they need to have that attachment. Because if they don't have that attachment, we will not exist. There cannot be any creation. Right? There cannot be any material world, any expansion. In one of the purports in the previous shlokas, Prabhupada explains the words three. Three, Sanskrit word, meaning of the words three. It basically means the one who facilitates material expansion. The word three means the one who facilitates material expansion. If she is not attached to relatives, if she is not attached to body, if she is not attached to her children, then how can material expansion happen? And the one who facilitates material expansion also means the one who attracts a male. And Prabhupada also explains, anybody who wants to make spiritual advancement, if is attracted to such a female, who is trying to attract a male, he cannot make. Right? You have to be attracted to a woman to become opulent in this material world, to work like a dog, like an ass. That and all can only happen if you're attracted to a woman. Prabhupada told that many times in many places. He told, you all know that famous incident, right? I don't know the sannyasi Maharaj who was involved in that. I don't know the name of the Maharaj, but I heard it from a Maharaj. I think I heard it from Niranjan Swami Maharaj. Yeah. That Prabhupada was sitting on this chariot. Just imagine, he was sitting on a chariot. What chariot? Jagannath chariot, right? And he was doing this Rath Yatra in New York City. And then he looks at one sannyasi, a young sannyasi. The sannyasi was just new to KC, and Prabhupada gave him sannyas and, sitting with him. And Prabhupada looks at him and says, "What do you think about the women of New York?" And sannyasi doesn't know what to answer. He can't tell they are beautiful because that means he's attracted to them. He can't tell he didn't see them because that's very evident he's seeing them. He doesn't know what to answer. Prabhupada says, "Oh, so what do you think? What do you think of the women of New York?" Sannyasi is clueless. I don't know where I heard. I think it was Niranjan Maharaj or Indrajit Maharaj. One of the lectures in US I heard this. And then Prabhupada says, no wonder there are these big skyscraper buildings in New York, which means the women of New York are very attractive. Like that Prabhupada. And then the sannyasi understood, oh my God, this is what Prabhupada meant. Yes, Prabhupada, they're attractive, no doubt, because that's when a male goes and does all these things, right? A male will go and construct all these buildings to attract women. Why do you think he's constructing this skyscraper? Why do you think there are more and more skyscraper buildings coming in Gachibowli? Because beautiful women are coming. Bodily way, beautiful women are coming. And people want to attract them by saying, darling, I bought this flat in the 40th floor for you. Right? To attract her. That is the way. That is the way to attract. That's what people do. Right? So, woman is a creation of Lord, woman body is a creation of Lord, as explained by Prabhupada in the purport, who facilitates the material expansion. Right? The whole cycle of Sansara, Kupam, Andakupam is facilitated. And a male gets attracted. But a person who is serious about spiritual advancement should only see mother in a woman. That's why we call Mataji, Mataji. At least we call. We should start even meaning it. Right? It's not easy. We should start actually meaning that, yes, mother. I have no other intention. And, but the soul inside is not a female, neither a male. Right? But when we are in a woman body, then we are attracted to all these things. That's what Prabhupada explains. There are so many things that Prabhupada explains in this purpose, in these lines. It's a very heavy chapter, by the way. It's a heavy chapter. So I'm trying to be careful, not trying to speak something that will make sure that I'll not have lunch and dinner at home. So I have to be caution. Because and on top of that, I don't think I am a perfect male to comment on women. I'm not a perfect male. I'm just going to repeat the purports of Prabhupada and the verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. They're spotless. Which are true. Verse 12. O never born, O blue-throated one, not only my relatives, but also other women dressed in nice clothes and decorated with ornaments are going there with their husbands and friends. Just see how their cloaks of white airplanes have made the entire sky very beautiful. It's further explained. Not only my sisters, Baba, many others are going. Many others are going. So why don't you take me? Take me. Looks like the whole world is going. Right? You are the only one who's not taking me. And of course, Prabhupada explains why she told, uh, never born. And because she knows Lord Shiva is very higher platform. She's trying to attract Lord Shiva to something that he doesn't get attracted to. Right? And Neelakantha, that pastime of Samudra Manthan, where he drank the poison, or rather holded the poison. 13th shloka. O best of the demigods, how can the body of a daughter remain undisturbed when she hears that some festive event is taking place in her father's house? Even though you may be considering that I have not been invited, there is no harm if one goes to the house of one's friend, husband, spiritual master, or father without invitation. She's now going to the next level. She's saying, by the way, I'm in this body of a woman. How can you not understand that I'm attracted? And by the way, it's my father's house. For heaven's sake, it is not some stranger's house. And it is normal, as per Shastra, that you don't need an invitation to go to your parents' house. You don't need an invitation to go and meet a spiritual master. You don't need an invitation to go and meet a friend. So she, just like Arjuna was quoting different reasons in Bhagavad Gita in the beginning, I don't want to do the war. She's trying to quote, Mother Sati is trying to quote all the reasons uh, to make him take her there as a responsibility. 14th shloka. Oh immortal Shiva, please be kind towards me and fulfill my desire. You have accepted me as half of your body. Therefore, please show kindness towards me. Accept my request. So, this is like, please, done. I'm your wife. No, I'm your wife. I'm half of you. Do it. Yeah, Prabhuji, you all faced anything like this? Again, as I said, we are not perfect Prabhus. We are not Lord Shivas here, right? But we go through these incidents many a times, right? It's natural. Today's day and time. 15th shloka. The great sage Maitreya said, Lord Shiva, the deliverer of hill Kailasha, having thus been addressed by his dear wife, repeatedly smilingly, he's smiling. Lord Shiva is repeatedly smiling. And at the same time, he remembered the malicious, heart-piercing speeches delivered by Daksha before the guardians of the universal. Right? Now here, Prabhupada explains in purport that the greatness of Lord Shiva is this, right? Now, when you remember somebody who has abused you, who has spoken ill words about you, who insulted you in front of everybody, not like in front of some people, Mukkoti Devatas, in front of all the universal affairs people, he was insulted. And even though he remembered that, he was smiling. See, many of us also remember some old days, when we were insulted in our life. And it spoils our mood, isn't it? It spoils our mood. Some very sorrow and what is this? I was, oh my God. Sometimes we remember, somebody was beaten us up in college and you want to go back in flashback and beat him to pulp now, but he's not there anymore. But you remember those incidents, and what does that do? It creates disturbance in your consciousness. But look at Lord Shiva. Lord Prabhupada explains, praises Lord Shiva, saying he's Titraprajna. Right? He quotes from Bhagavad Gita saying he's Titraprajna. He's not getting affected. Instead, he's laughing. He's remembering all that and he's laughing, smiling rather. So in this purport, is Atma Rama. Lord Shiva is Atma Rama. Anyway, so 16. The great Lord replied, my dear beautiful wife. Now the reply starts. Haribol. Let's hear the replies of Lord Shiva. So far, proposal is made. Let's go. Now let's hear the replies of Lord Shiva. The great Lord replied, my dear beautiful wife, you have said that one may go to a friend's house without being invited. And this is true, provided such friend does not find fault with the guest because of bodily identification and thereby becomes angry towards me. See, the two things he's telling. If telling, okay, I agree that you don't need to be invited to go to a friend or a parent's house. That is agree. Provided he is not insulted you on a bodily platform. Now, he is quoting here the second chapter. That Daksha Prajapati wanted me to respect him because I am his son-in-law. Which means the respect that he was demanding was in bodily platform. Right? He was demanding that respect on a bodily platform. Here, he's saying that that's the problem. Don't go to such people's house who expect respect at a bodily platform. They're going to disrespect you also. Right? They're not on a spiritual platform. They're going to disrespect you on a bodily platform. And he's already done that. So please, my dear Sati, don't do that. You're going to go there. You're going to get insulted because this person doesn't see the right identification. He's seeing everything in bodily platform. He insulted me on bodily platform. Right? And Prabhupada explains the purpose that actually Lord Shiva was paid obeisances, paid his respects to Daksha Prajapati. But not on a bodily platform, on a spiritual platform, which he could not recognize. Right? Go to the next. 17th verse. Although the 6 qualities, education, austerity, wealth, beauty, youth, and heritage, are for the highly elevated, one who is proud of possessing them becomes blind, and thus he loses his good sense and cannot appreciate the glories of great personality. Okay? Now, it's a very heavy verse, Prabhuji and Matajis. Many materialistic people may not like this verse. And especially the purport, Prabhupada becomes very heavy in the purport. He says that all these things, like high education, if among devotees in satsang also, somebody is a PhD or a double PhD or a highly qualified or very beautiful person, bodily beauty, good features, good complexion, or who is very wealthy, stays in a big house, or has a lot of money, a lot of big cars, or he has a great heritage to speak about, I belong to this family, that family. All these are big impediments in spiritual life. Prabhupada says that in the purport. You can read the purport later, 17th verse. Go and read. Prabhupada says that they're very dangerous for a devotee. In fact, Prabhupada says if somebody takes away your material opulences, these are all material opulences, right? All of this education, austerity, wealth, beauty, youth, heritage, all these are material, meaningless, actually meaningless. But if somebody recognizes with all this because he has those, then he will commit offenses. Okay? Just imagine, like my own Guru Maharaj, known as Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He often cracks a joke, saying that I don't even have a bank account, and I'm not even a graduate. Like, he left his studies when he was 19. Just hitchhiked and then he stopped his material education. Now, who are the people who are serving him right now? What are his disciples? Somebody is a triple PhD. Huh? A triple PhD person is his disciple. Right? What is this? Gaurahari Prabhu. Gaurahari Prabhu in Kapati. I heard he's a triple PhD. Now, here is a sannyasi who has not even finished his school. It is only the greatness of devotees like Gaurahari Prabhu who keep aside all these qualifications and they see the real qualification of a guru and they surrender to such guru. Okay? Surrender. What is the qualification to become a guru? Vacho Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Krodha Vegam, Udarapastha Vegam. Huh? All the Bhakshasri verse, remember? That is the qualification. That is what a disciple needs to see in a guru. But a person who is very puffed up by his education, I am a director in this company, I am a director of Amazon. Prabhu, tell me what to do. But behind what is that visiting card in his mind? I am a director of Amazon. Right? I have 200 people reporting to me. My salary is 2.5 crores. That is not gone. That is still there in my mind. That's not gone. You're not You're not Sthitaprajnas. And you are dealing with the Siksha Guru or a Diksha Guru. There are moments when you are given an instruction against your liking. You don't want to do something and your Guru is telling, do it. That will come out. That is the moment it will come out. Till then it will not come out. Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu, Vancha Kalpa Prabhu, your desire fulfilling trip. Anni bare untayi. The moment an instruction comes or a service comes which you don't want to do or you have your own mental objections that I don't think it's important service, then all those qualifications of wealth, beauty, education, everything will come and make us commit offenses. So you should be very careful. In a satsang, when you are entering satsang, you are materially illiterate fellow. That should be our consciousness. Otherwise, very dangerous. Especially we grahasthas, Prabhu, I'm telling you. You know, when we are dealing with senior brahmacharis like Radhesham Prabhu or Gauranga Prabhu or many other brahmacharis, right? Or senior devotees. Please keep reminding yourself that you cannot be what you are in the office here. Whatever nonsense we are in the office is office. Whatever education we have is we have. That has got nothing to do with going back to Krishna. Right? So Prabhupada explains in this purport pretty strongly that these opulences are very dangerous. So which means if you are very rich and you are living in a very expensive house or driving a very expensive car, it gives you more responsibility to become humble. You have to become more, you have to do more menial services to remain humble. Right? Radhesham Prabhu says, you know, when you are puffed up, go and wash dishes. When you are puffed up, do deity worship. When you are puffed up, serve prasadam. When you are puffed up, make prasadam. Right? Serve devotees. That is very, very important. Menial services. Difficult physical activity. And where respect may or may not be given. That kind of service you should take. Book distribution. You should go to book distribution. Where you are slapped and spitted on your face in a subtle way. When you go and stop somebody and say, sir, can you take a Bhagavad Gita? Pura. Pura antava. Annu. నేను ఎవరో తెలుసా నీకు నా విజిటింగ్ కార్డు దియానా నీకు బయటికి సో యూ షుడ్ డూ సర్వీసెస్ లైక్ దట్ వేర్ అవర్ మెటీరియల్ రికగ్నిషన్ ఆర్ thoroughly cleansed. So there is a big purport. I request all of you to read. In interest of time, I'm just telling you the essence of this purpose. Verse 18, Lord Shiva continues. One should not go to anyone's house, even on the consideration of one being a relative or a friend, when the man is disturbed in his mind and looks upon the guests with raised eyebrows and angry eyes. So he's telling how your father is going to look at you. You should not go to such people's house. Don't go to houses where people are not inviting you. Right? Especially people who are on bodily platform or who are looking for praise and pride, who are proud and who are looking for praise. Don't go to such people, especially when they're envious of you, because you're going to be insulted. So he's explaining so much. 19th verse. Lord Shiva continued, if one is hurt by the arrows of an enemy, one is not as aggrieved as one cut by the unkind words of a relative. For such grief continues to rend one's heart day and night. He's saying relative abuse is even horrible. My dear Sati, if an enemy is piercing with knife, it's okay. But you hearing from relative means what? Relative means somebody whom you love. You have a relationship. You think you have a right on that person. You're related. You're related. You think he has a right on you. Parent, your brother, your sister. When they insult you, it's more pain. Why? Because you are related to them. Your happiness depends on them. And they are removing your happiness. Right? Prabhupada explains that in the purport. Shloka 20. My dear white complexioned wife, it is clear that of the many daughters of Daksha, you are the pet. He recognized you are the most important daughter of Daksha. Yet you will not be honored at his house because of you being my wife. Rather, you will be sorry that you are connected with me. See, look at the clarity Lord Shiva is giving. That see, who is the most insulted? The most dearest is the most insulted. So he's saying you are the most dearest, by the way, and you will be thoroughly insulted because he has insulted me, and because you are related to me, and you are very dear to him, you will be more insulted. Right? Love has, the love in a material platform has extreme ends, right? On a material platform, you can see, I love you. I'll give my life to you. If some boyfriend goes and tells this to a girlfriend, I'll give my life to you, that girlfriend should immediately run away from there. You know why she should run away? Because this fellow is going to capable of taking life also. Right? If he's saying that I will give my life to you, that also means the extreme end of material love is what? I'll take that life also. As simple as that. Lust at the other end. Right? So people on a bodily platform, as much as they love you, will also hurt you. Remember, as much as they love you, your relatives or your friends on material platform, if they are so affectionate and darling to you, they are the people who are going to hurt you the most one day when that moment comes. And that's exactly what Lord Shiva is telling here to Mother Sati, that you are the pet of your father. You're a pet of your, don't you see? And he's on bodily platform. Don't you see? This is the most insult. Because the other end of that, being the most beloved, is the highest insult also awaiting for you because you are related to me. Text 21. Lord Shiva says, one who is conducted by false ego and thus always distressed, both mentally and sensually, cannot tolerate the opulence of self-realized persons. It's a very heavy verse. Being unable to rise to the standard of self-realization, he envies such persons as much as demons envy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank God. See, here, Prabhu's and Mataji is a very important thing for especially we who are trying to lead our spiritual life. A lot of people outside, when they see that we are wanting to go forward in spiritual life, they don't like us. They are envious of us. They cannot tolerate. They cannot tolerate our opulence, any opulence, whether it's opulence relating to spiritual knowledge. They cannot tolerate it. They will abuse. They will insult. As envious people, especially the people who are puffed up with false ego. That I am the doer. I am here to enjoy. I am here to enjoy. They can't take it. They can't take it. You know what I'm saying? They will insult devotees. They cannot not stop. They will insult devotees because they are too puffed up and they cannot see anybody being respected also. See, that is it. When we want to do Rath Yatras, you see these envious people coming in communities saying, how can you do that? Why? Because they are envious of any opulence or any recognition a devotee might get in a community. They don't want a devotee to be recognized or be acknowledged. They don't want it. I'll tell a simple example. When somebody is being insulted in a society for a material cause, there are so many big chat that is going on. But after such a big Rath Yatras, Prabhuji, in your societies, tell me how many comments, positive comments have you seen in that group? Right? Whether it's a Telegram group or a WhatsApp group, how many people have written, oh, we loved it, oh, it was so nice, oh, we enjoyed it, oh, it was divine. How many people have written after the Rath Yatra? What does it mean? Huh? Not that they didn't appreciate, they're envious. They don't want to give that opulence to a devotee. They're envious. Oh, he'll get recognition. Oh, he is known now. Oh, this family has done it. This family. No, they don't want recognition because they want to be the center of everything. Giving that center stage to a God conscious person is not possible in Kali Yuga. Of course, we don't want a center stage. Devotee doesn't want a center stage. We shouldn't aim for a center stage. But also know that people are going to be, envious of you and they're going to attack you. Don't be surprised. Actually, I'm surprised that I'm still not attacked in community that I stay. Maybe the attack is going to happen sometime later. But be rest assured, people on bodily platform do not like activities where God is being glorified or a devotee of God is being glorified. Okay? That's exactly what Lord Shiva is telling here. 22. My dear young wives, certainly friends and relatives offer mutual greetings by standing up, welcoming one another, and offering obeisances. But those who are elevated to a transcendental platform, being intelligent, offers his respects to the super soul who is sitting within the body, not the person who identifies with the body. See, now he's quoting to the second chapter, saying, see, I did not get up because I already paid obeisance to the super soul within Daksha's body. But these people, they expect obeisances for their bodies. Daksha thinks he is that body and he wants me to offer obeisances. But I'm sorry, I'm on a transcendental platform. I only see soul and super soul. I'm offering my obeisances to the super soul. Right? So what do you want me to do? Text 23. I am always engaged in offering obeisances to Lord Vasudeva in pure Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is always pure consciousness, in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as Vasudeva, is revealed without any covering. So if you are Krishna conscious, basically Lord Shiva is telling here, see, I am Krishna conscious, and I can only see Krishna in Daksha. I can see Krishna in Daksha. Your father, I can see Krishna in him. And to him only I have offered obeisances. What do you want me to do? I can only see that. I cannot see a reason to pay obeisances to a body. I'm paying obeisances to Lord Krishna and a devotee within. Right? Very clearly explaining this. The long purport, Prabhupada explains the difference. Text 24. Therefore, you should not see your father, although he is the giver of your body, because he and his followers are envious of me. Don't go, because they're envious of me. Because of his envy, oh most worshipable one, he has insulted me with cruel words, although I am innocent. He's trying to put his case to his wife, saying, don't do that, don't go to him. I didn't do anything to him. I was just sitting and meditating on Supreme Lord. I offered obeisances also, but he wanted obeisances on a bodily platform. He's envious of me. And people who are with him are also envious of me. They've insulted me. Why do you want to go to them? Why do you want to go to them? Right? Finally, the final verse. It says, in spite of this instruction, if in spite of the instruction you decide to go, neglecting my words, the future will not be good for you. The future will not be good for you. You are most respectable. And when you are insulted by a relative, this insult will immediately be equal to death. For the person who is respected, for the person who is honored, dishonor is worse than death. Right? It's there in Bhagavad Gita. So similarly, here, Lord Shiva is saying that you are most respectable, my dear Sati, and I'm advising you not to go because the way you will be insulted, it will be equal to death. And that's exactly what happened. And we'll wait for the next Prabhu who's going to take the next chapter to discuss. Right? Hari Bol. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports to the fourth chapter, fourth canto, third chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Talks Between Lord Shiva and Sati. Thank you for giving this opportunity to read this wonderful chapter. So it was a very heavy chapter. I don't think I'm qualified to speak the purports that Prabhupada has spoken about a woman or a man or a devata or a situation, but there are a lot of lessons to learn out of all this. So any questions or reflections? No questions? Please forgive me if I spoke anything
Hare
inappropriate.
Krishna, Prabhuji. It's a small doubt. Just like, should we go to a place where we are insulted? Sometimes by they knowing or not knowing, they insult us. Should we go to such a place?
Well, the purpose of going is important. Are you going there to do some important work? You have to go. But we should avoid going to places where we are being insulted. Why? Two reasons. One, because it will agitate us. Second, the offense that they will commit on us will affect their spiritual life. Because we are practicing devotees. Not saying I'm a devotee, but I'm wearing a kanti, I'm chanting. So somewhere Guru and Gauranga are with me. So if somebody wants to insult me, I should not give that opportunity for him to insult me, because that will affect him. Did I answer?
Yes. This, as purpose says, this is mostly relevant. Most insult comes from the close relatives who doesn't follow this.
Closest. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Any other reflection, thought? Okay. So thank you very much for hearing the chapter filled with insults on each other. Second chapter especially, and third chapter following up and telling the results of that insult. And but please don't read these chapters thinking we are dealing with personalities, ordinary personalities. These chapters that we are reading, Lord Shiva, Sati, including Daksha Prajapati, are not ordinary personalities, but these whole pastimes are conducted by Lord to glorify his devotees and to also instructively tell us who are on meditative form to be careful when we are practicing spiritual life. How we have to be careful when we are practicing spiritual life. Hare Krishna. Thank you, all Prabhus and Matajis. Have a wonderful rest of the Ekadashi day. Pray for all the cows. Pray to Mother Earth, Bhumata today. Possible do one extra round. Asking forgiveness that we are not able to do anything. It's a very sad day today. We're not able to do anything. We all will go into our rooms. We all will sit in under our fans. We all will have a normal rest of a day. But there are so many Gomatas whose necks will be sliced out and beheaded with all the pain and blood that will fall on Mother Earth. And how Mother Earth is going to react to that blood of Gomata is unthinkable. But this is Kali Yuga. So become serious in spiritual life and plan to go back to Dwared before things become more and more difficult to practice spiritual life. Nitai Gaur Premanand Hari. Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Cha Pattanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Ananta Koti Vaishnavrini Shayana Ekadashi Mahamahotsav ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrini all assembly. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.